pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also had 2 magazines with ammunition in them that held dozens of rounds. He also had no ID. This looks like a situation where an individual arrived at this scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement. About hundreds of protesters then showed up at the scene. They began to obstruct and to assault law enforcement officers. We saw objects being thrown at them, including ice and other objects, and a rampant assault began, and even an HSI officer agent's finger was bitten off. Crowd control measures were deployed to bring safety to the public and to law enforcement at the scene. And once again, I want to remind everybody that this situation and this tragedy did not have to happen. Our law enforcement are doing everything that they can to protect the public. We're praying for this deceased loved one's family and friends, but we also recognize that the Minnesota governor and the Minneapolis mayor need to take a long, hard look in the mirror. They need to evaluate their rhetoric, their conversations, and
Hey everyone, I'm your host, Maribel Blue. I put that clip in the beginning just so that you can see the lies that Kristi Noem was making against Alex Pretti. I really don't know what to say. I recorded a video yesterday and I was upset. I was cursing. And I'm like, I don't think this is going to be YouTube friendly. It might be Patreon friendly, but I have to say, I'm just disgusted with everything that is going on right now. And Kamala Harris warned us. She warned us this was exactly how it would be. When I hear people talk about, oh, it would have been worse under her, I don't know how worse it would be. I would not imagine a world where she would be putting ICE agents in different cities to antagonize and put fear in people. There is an ethical way of doing things, and everything that has occurred up until now, from 2025, when Orange Gina took that oath or pretended to take an oath, he induced trauma. And that's what he continues to do every day, along with Stephen Miller and everybody else who is associated with this man. Now, I am going to play a clip of Kyle from Secular Talk. I really enjoy his channel and he doesn't hold back. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And then we're going to come back and discuss.
You know, one of the things I needed to wrap my mind around after getting involved in politics, and I couldn't understand it for a really long time, but one of the things I had to try to understand is that not everybody is like me, right? Like when I talk, I try extra hard to make sure every word out of my mouth is accurate. I care about the facts. I care about the truth. It's the most basic thing when you're speaking to try to make sure that it's spot on, that every point you're making is real, okay? I simply could not fathom people who are dedicated as a matter of principle to lying. And guess what? There are apparently a lot of people like that. So what you're about to see here is just an endless parade of MAGA idiots and fascists who, I don't know where they get the nerve from, but this is so utterly fucking shameless. But they went out there and from the second they opened their mouth until the second they stopped talking, they lied over and over and over about the murder of Alex Pretti. Okay? So first let's start with Kristi Noem, this sick cunt. Listen to what she says here. Watch.
an individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently. Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics were on the scene immediately and attempted to deliver medical aid to the subject, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also had 2 magazines with ammunition in them that held dozens of rounds. He also had no ID. This looks like a situation where an individual arrived at this scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement.
Literally not a single part of that was true. And let's be clear, she knows that not a single part of that is true. She doesn't care. She views her job as chief liar, chief propagandist, defender of the regime, defender of the ICE Gestapo, no matter what. And so yet again, we have the shit on video. We can all see it with our own two eyes. You have dead-eyed psychopaths who defended the murder of Renee Nicole Good, who looked at this one and went, yeah, I don't know. From the first shit she said, she was wrong. Alex Pretti didn't start any trouble. It was an ICE Gestapo thug who came up to him. He was just trying to protect a woman who was shoved by one of the ICE Gestapo thugs. And so he goes to make sure she's okay. He's holding his cell phone, which is recording. He's got his hand up like this. And then you have an assault committed by the ICE thug where he immediately starts pepper spraying him from point blank in his fucking face repeatedly. And so he's recording, he's got his hand up like this, he gets pepper sprayed, he's on the ground, 8 motherfuckers come out and fucking jump him like it's a gang. At least 5 of them are beating his ass. He's on the ground basically covering his head, trying not to get fucking permanent brain damage. And then what happens? The legal firearm he's carrying gets taken by one of the ICE thugs, and then another one takes out a gun and shoots him in the back. Shoots him in the back. 10 shots later, he's dead.
So everything that Kyle said in this video that I shared with you, very accurate. If you go and watch the video, and I'm going to share with you everything that he just said, this assault and murder out in broad daylight occurred on different angles where people recorded all of this. This man was helpless once he got pepper sprayed. So there would be no way that he can reach for something when he's probably covering his face or was covering his face from the pepper spray. You have a whole bunch of people on top of you. You're trying to protect yourself in defense of people being on top of you and assaulting you. We all saw it. And it's funny because when Kyle Rittenhouse drove across state lines with a firearm, which is illegal, everyone was cheering for him, including Charlie Kirk.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please, let's get loud for Kyle Rittenhouse.
And oh, the irony. And I just don't understand and don't want to understand how MAGAs are okay with the insanity, because they are insane themselves. It is a very sick and twisted cult who would do anything for their leader, just the same way people did for Jim Jones. Jim Jones had such a charismatic behavior about him. He was able to lure 900 people into Jonestown, into another country. Imagine luring that type of crowd into another country and saying, you know what? If you love me so much, this is what you're going to do. And believe me when I tell you, I know that there were people who fought for their lives and ended up losing as a result.
Sequence of events. Footage seen from a sidewalk, the street, inside a store, and from a car just feet away. Videos show federal agents shoving a person with Pretti, then stepping in. That's when an agent pepper sprays him in the face while Pretti clutches his phone. Seconds later, several agents wrestle Pretti to the ground, where videos do not appear to show him brandishing a weapon, as DHS had stated. This angle showing an officer swing something at Pretti's head. Pushing in on this video, you can see one agent reach behind Pretti, appearing to remove a gun from his waistband. As someone yells, "gun," that same agent appears to step away, and about a second later, the first shot is fired, followed by a flurry of gunshots.
Call an ambulance, please.
I think the key detail is, were the agents under the imminent threat of death or great bodily harm? And nowhere in that video does it show that he pointed a gun at them, brandished a gun at them. There's no piece where you can see him reaching for the gun.
Local officials say Pretti was a lawful gun owner with a permit for concealed carry. Border Patrol Chief Greg Bovino asked about this earlier.
Did the officers see the weapon? Did they see him brandishing the weapon at him?
Sure. Many videos out there, many different accounts that you may see. All those.
What the fuck is this midget talking about? Yeah, I said it, midget, because that's what he is. You don't like it? You don't like that I'm not politically correct? I can give a fuck less. He is a fucking midget. There, I said it.
Minute details that will paint a true picture, not a freeze frame,
He even sounds like a midget.
not a freeze frame concept, and paint a larger picture of what really happened. That is why we investigate, so we can get to the truth, so there's not speculation.
When you have footage from a whole bunch of different angles, all recording the same event simultaneously, for people who don't understand the dictionary definition of simultaneously means all at the same time. It's very hard to doctor that when it's happening in real time. And people are feverishly uploading so that they have it as evidence. So for anyone to think in their mind that they saw something different, it's because you're probably listening to your MAGA friends who are telling you something different, who are making you see things differently than what they are. I don't know what to say anymore about any of this. I don't want to understand people who say I voted for this because of ABC. There are people who literally read from the same script talking points. He closed up the border. The border's not closed, people. He's bringing back jobs. He didn't bring back any jobs. He's building new factories. There are no factories being built whatsoever. Everything people continue to spew isn't happening. And now there are 3 people. I never even got a chance to talk about the first person before Renee Good, or it could have been after. I don't have the details in front of me of another person that was killed, and that just went under the radar. Why? Because he was Black. So it wasn't relevant. And here we are again. Because they're white, it becomes a bigger problem. And the bigger problem is white supremacy. And I can almost promise you there are white people out there who are like in Magaland who don't even care. They just don't. They're looking at it like it's better them and not me. I'm not the one who's out there advocating for this. That I'm sure that's what they're saying. And there are people who don't want to change. And I've pretty much accepted that part. I have no reason to argue with people, to debate with people, to tell them why this is not a good idea, because there are people who are already set in their mind through this type of conditioning and supremacy. I would say ask the 900 people who went to Jonestown, but unfortunately, they aren't here to tell you the story. Well, with the exception of his son, who I believe is still alive, and a few other people who were able to escape, they can probably tell you the stories. But then again, you would not listen because you believe that something wonderful is happening. And it's not. There is a sickness, and I feel sorry for any therapist and psychiatrist who are going to have to work with people who want to change or force them to change. I mean, I don't know. The only thing that I could say is people have to be shamed for their hate. You have to shame them. You have to make them feel bad, because this type of hate is absolutely disgusting. There's nothing nice about it. There's nothing kind about it. And everyone all around the world is laughing at us. Look at the comments, read the comments, how other countries are looking at us, how other world leaders are looking at us, and take it seriously. In order for us to come back from this is start shaming the hate and calling it out. I've said this before. We have gone way too long in normalizing what is not normal. I used an example of the smelly underarms and somebody not using deodorant, and then thinking, yeah, if you stay away from that person long enough or just hold your nose when you're around them, they're going to figure it out. There are people who will not figure it out. You have to tell them. And this is what we need to start doing with people, shaming them for their hate, because it is an absolute disgrace to look at another human being and think that your skin color supersedes anything when it doesn't. People are on the cheese line of being stupid. They volunteer to be stupid. They put themselves on threads. Hey, my child is healthy. No vaccines, no this, no that. Meanwhile, there's a measles outbreak in South Carolina. But you're on threads talking about how you are an anti-vaxxer. Diseases that were eradicated because of people getting vaccines, and you're up there all loud and proud, and you look stupid. I have no words for this disgusting act, seeing another person murdered, brutally murdered. And if any ICE agent thinks they are going to be exempt, they are not going to be held accountable, Krusty Gnome is going to be the first one online. And I'm going to tell you now, I look forward to the day of her tears and suffering and begging for mercy, because believe me, she will. And there's not going to be any Botox in jail for her. And whoever her Botox person is, please keep fucking it up. You're doing a good job. And with all that being said, I want to send my condolences to Alex Pretti's family. There are no words of consolation that I can say or that anyone can say of what happened.
Terrence Lee Randolph, March 30th, 1947, December 10th, 2024. Today we remember that freedom is not free. We have to work at it, nurture it, protect it, and even sacrifice for it. May we never forget and always remember our brothers and sisters who have served so that we may enjoy the gift of freedom. So in this moment, we remember and give thanks for their dedication and selfless service to our nation in the cause of our freedom. In this solemn hour, we render them our honor and our gratitude. You guys can follow.
And with all that being said, this is Maribel Blue signing off. Please do consider subscribing. As always, remember, be good to yourself, be good to each other, and most importantly, take care of you. Bye, everybody.